You're listening to an African Elements top news story for June 13th, 2025. Please visit our website at africanelements.org for more daily news. Tinubu's pardon for Ogoni Nine activists. A new chapter by Darius Spearman, African Elements. On November 10, 1995, Nigeria witnessed a somber moment that reverberated across the globe. 9 prominent Ogoni activists, including the acclaimed writer and environmentalist Ken Saro-Wiwa, were executed by the military regime then in power. These individuals became known collectively as the Ogoni Nine. Their demise followed a conviction by a special military tribunal for the murder of 4 pro-government Ogoni chiefs during an intra-communal riot in Ogoniland in 1994. Many observers, however, widely viewed these charges as politically motivated, designed to suppress the growing dissent against environmental exploitation and human rights abuses in the Niger Delta. The execution sparked immense international outrage, leading to sanctions from several global bodies and nations, including the Commonwealth, the United States, and Canada. Their struggle and eventual execution illuminated the severe consequences faced by communities fighting for their land and dignity against powerful corporate and governmental interests. Furthermore, the memory of the Ogoni Nine serves as a powerful symbol of the ongoing battle for environmental justice and human rights within Nigeria and around the world. Ogoniland, a small region nestled within the Niger Delta of southeastern Nigeria, holds immense significance due to its rich endowment of natural resources, particularly oil. For decades, this land has borne the brunt of extensive oil extraction activities carried out by multinational companies, most notably Shell. Tragically, this resource wealth has not brought prosperity to the Ogoni people. Instead, it has ushered in severe environmental degradation, making the area a stark symbol of environmental justice struggles across the African continent. The environmental pollution in Ogoniland is truly devastating. It includes rampant oil spills that destroy farmlands and fishing waters, continuous gas flaring that poisons the air, and widespread water contamination and soil degradation. These decades of unchecked exploitation have decimated local ecosystems and agricultural livelihoods. Moreover, they have inflicted severe health damage upon the Ogoni populace. The struggle of the Ogoni people highlights the profound impact that extractive industries can have on indigenous communities, particularly when their rights and environmental well-being are disregarded. Amidst the growing environmental crisis and political marginalization, the movement for the survival of the Ogoni people, MOSOP, emerged as a beacon of hope. Founded in 1990 by Ken Saro-Wiwa, MOSOP was a non-violent human rights organization dedicated to advocating for the self-determination, environmental health, and economic rights of the Ogoni people. The organization's mission was clear: to challenge the exploitation by multinational oil companies and the neglect of the Nigerian government, both of which contributed to the suffering in Ogoniland. Under Saro-Wiwa's leadership, MOSOP gained significant momentum. They drafted the Ogoni Bill of Rights, a powerful document articulating the grievances of the Ogoni people and demanding environmental restoration, fair revenue distribution, and political autonomy. Through peaceful protests and global advocacy, MOSOP successfully brought international attention to the desperate plight of the Ogoni people. Their activism inspired similar movements worldwide, demonstrating the power of a united community in facing overwhelming odds and pushing for justice. The executions of the Ogoni Nine occurred under the iron rule of General Sani Abacha, who served as Nigeria's military head of state from 1993 until his death in 1998. Abacha's regime was characterized by its deeply authoritarian nature and a brutal crackdown on all forms of opposition and civil society. His government vehemently suppressed protests and dissent, including those emanating from MOSOP and the Ogoni people who sought justice for environmental destruction and human rights abuses. The military tribunal that convicted the Ogoni Nine operated outside the normal civilian justice system, raising serious concerns about impartiality, transparency, and due process. Such tribunals are often criticized for their lack of independence, making them tools for political repression rather than genuine justice. The actions of the Abacha regime against the Ogoni activists underscored a pattern of governance where state power was used to silence dissenting voices, particularly those advocating for the rights of marginalized communities in the face of exploitation. The swift execution of the Ogoni Nine ignited a firestorm of international condemnation, sending shockwaves across diplomatic circles and human rights organizations worldwide. International bodies and various nations responded with punitive measures against Nigeria's military government. For example, the Commonwealth suspended Nigeria, and countries such as the United States and Canada imposed travel bans and trade restrictions. These sanctions were a clear message that the global community would not condone such flagrant disregard for human rights. While the immediate impact of these sanctions on the Abacha regime was debated, they undoubtedly contributed to Nigeria's international isolation, damaging its reputation on the world stage and adding pressure for a return to democratic governance. Ultimately, the international response highlighted the global interconnectedness of human rights struggles, demonstrating that the plight of one community could resonate far beyond its borders. On June 12, 2025, President Bola Tinubu announced that his administration would grant a posthumous presidential pardon to the Ogoni Nine. This significant decision, made nearly 3 decades after their executions, occurred during a joint session of the National Assembly celebrating Nigeria's Democracy Day 2025. A posthumous pardon is an official act of forgiveness granted to someone after their death, retroactively clearing their name and acknowledging the wrongfulness of their past convictions. While the pardon might appear to be a step towards justice and national reconciliation, reactions to the announcement have been mixed. Environmental activist Nemo Bassi expressed skepticism, suggesting that the pardon alone is not the best way to address the deep-rooted issues faced by the Ogoni people. Additionally, the family of Ken Saro-Wiwa and Amnesty International have indicated that clemency falls short of the comprehensive justice needed. The timing of the pardon on Democracy Day, though symbolic of national unity, has also led some critics to view it as a political gesture that lacks the substantive actions required to heal past wounds and address ongoing injustices. Despite the posthumous pardon, the reality on the ground in Ogoniland remains challenging. Persistent environmental degradation caused by decades of oil pollution continues to plague the region. This pollution directly contributes to ongoing health crises within the community. Large-scale cleanup efforts, while acknowledged as necessary, have been notably slow and, for many, ineffective. Activists and the families of the Ogoni Nine emphasize that true justice requires more than a symbolic pardon. They advocate for legal accountability for those who ordered and carried out the executions, comprehensive environmental remediation, and fair compensation for the victims and affected communities. Furthermore, the Ogoni people continue to fight for genuine political empowerment and self-determination, ensuring that they control their resources and destiny. The pardon serves as a reminder of a dark chapter in Nigeria's history, but the fight for full justice, dignity, and a healthy future for Ogoniland continues. Copyright African Elements.